done yet with the end-to-end
This
app
meeting is being recorded.
completely. So we can pick from there and then we can complete that off. So basically, I'm asking who has not completed the last time's end-to-end app till the last task, like the handling tasks example. Wait, let me share which link I'm referring to. I'm just pasting it in the chat. So you folks can just go through this and tell me if this is done or not. Okay, I can see Abhishek, Alice, Salil, Vijay have completed. Chakri also, Shashank also. Uh, Other folks? So, like, you can just send me the screenshot. I'm just waiting for that. Then we can debug. Ram, Kavin, Ved, Tumiva, Jayjeet. Okay. Uh, oh wow, Jayjeet is also deployed on Vercel. Tumiva is using mobile to join. That's fine. Folks, just wait out a minute. Sulekha has just sent me the error. Let me just go through that. Sulekha, the error that you're actually seeing is for the address. Uh, so can you see in your code this last bit is basically the error. Um, the I'll have to see your exact this thing to understand what is there, but it talks about this address 0x7e99. So can you just go through your code and tell me where you are like setting this address? If you're trying to call a certain function using this particular module address and it is not attached to this address, then it will give this particular error. So if this is based on the end-to-end example that we did, give me a second. Actually, let me just pull up the code also. I think this is the same error that these folks were running into. Um, because they were using the um, address that was actually in the tutorial only. So let me check if it's that address. And if it's that, you'll just have to change for it to match with the right address. Uh, yeah, just do a control F and search for it. Okay, Rishikesh is working on it. So like I said, okay, I'm also getting an error. Yep, it's the same error. So just do a control F from search for this particular address. If you're trying to do something like setting this as the model address and trying to call this, but this address does not have the particular resource attached to it on which we are running the function. That's why the error is coming. So yeah, just search where this address is set. Okay, and the best way, like if you're unsure, like what is happening, why is this coming, right? You just go to the Aptos Explorer. If you remember, this is the Aptos Explorer. So I have no context on what you folks have run, but what I can do from here is I have the screenshots. I can't search. Maybe you can send me that address also, but I'll just show you the reference of what is happening. Okay. Ram has also actually sent it here. Let me open this. Give me a second, Ram. It's just opening for me. Give me a second. Still loading. Okay, yeah, it's just showing me account not found for this. I'll just show you my screen. I'm not sure if you are actually able to see it or not, but for me, it's showing this. Okay, it loads every time I come on this page, so that's a bit of a problem. Another thing I wanted to actually discuss today, but there is some problem with the Aptos tech only in the sense that. So I wanted to show you the indexer side of this, the Aptos indexer, but the site seems to be down that is linked on that this thing. But I'll try to get in touch with the development team also and ask what's the scene there. But yeah, if folks, you can see, it loads every time. But yeah, if you can see it, this will just show account not found for this. Yep, account not found. That's why you're running into this error. So whenever you're getting all of these kind of errors, which you can't make sense of, just go to the Aptos Explorer, go to that particular address, check out the resources that are there. Does this have any resource like that data type attached to it? Does this have the function attached to it? And in fact, if it does, you can actually run that function from the Explorer as well, just like how you can do on the Explorers for Ethereum as well. You can actually just go and you can pass the parameters there and run it. So it's like a front end that has already been built out for you in that sense for you to just come and like run anything that you want over there. Um, Okay, Ram, that while this is there, it might be some issue with this because I have seen this sometimes not work the way it's supposed to. So I might not be 100% sure as to what is happening here. Um, but yeah, like this is the source of truth for that matter on what's happening. Another thing that you might be able to do is just do like run something like. Uh, one second. Aptos account list. Yeah, that has the information. Yeah, you can run something like Aptos account list. Aptos account list, and this would give you the information about the like accounts you have and what it has underneath that. Yep. Yes, Abhishek, this does happen with it. I don't know why it happens, but it does happen. So yeah, that is a problem. Okay, so like I'm just waiting for you. Maybe you can just change that address and try things again. If that makes sense. If you're still getting stuck, feel free to share what's the issue. Would be happy to debug. In the meantime, folks, wanted to show you this. Give me a second. Let me share my screen. But yeah, So this is the Aptos indexer. So what they have mentioned here, I'll show you also. This is basically going into the advanced builder guides. That's the reason why I want to wait out a little bit and actually get the project ideas from the team and start doing these things, because then we'll start moving too much into the details of things without building out things first. So what they have mentioned here is that when we are looking at the architecture, this is pretty much the normal the graph, but in case of Aptos. So like instead of independently having like another protocol built out that architecture in that sense, they have built out their own indexer. And for folks who do not have the idea of what we are talking about here, so whenever we are talking about any sort of dApps, right? So this is basically how the flow works. We have the user which is interacting with the dApp, dApp is interacting with the smart contract, which in turn is interacting with the blockchain, right? And what as a dApp we need to do is we need to fetch information synced up to the latest block. And what I mean by this is that let's say today you want to show let's say today you want to show this very cool app. Let's say that you that let's say even social free, right? So what we do is that we want to show some cool NFTs or some cool stuff, that any particular tokens or anything or any transactions that we want to track, that tells us about a person's employment data, right? Like what is happening with them, if they have completed projects from build space, if they have become a part of developer DAO, these kind of actions. So but this is some information that will keep on changing, right? So if I have to do it in the normal way, what I can possibly think of is that maybe I can search for the, like there is an API that is there already in all of these Etherscan and all, right, that can basically allow me to search and get information about what tokens a particular person holds and all of that, right? But actually what it does in underneath is actually there's an indexer setup. Indexer is something that fetches that data, and that information is fetched 100%, like synced 100% to the blockchain. And what it means is that whenever new data is also added, for example, today you have, let's say, 5 NFTs, and then tomorrow maybe you get 2 more NFTs, 7 NFTs now, right? You want some point of like some data point, some source which syncs back to the blockchain and gets that data. And you want it to be flexible in the sense that you can specify that this is all the kinds of data I want. So you can, in a specific graph, specify that I want data of whether this person has like owned this particular token, this particular NFT, this particular transaction. So all of this you can put together in a single graph and like be like, okay, can you give me information of this, and that is why we have GraphQL as an indexing service that allows us to basically understand what, like get the on-chain information synced 100% to the block. And because it's GraphQL, like the GraphQL uh, hi Suleika, that Aptos account list is not for you. I was mentioning around something else at that point of time. It is basically to get information around that the particular account you are in. Uh, but I still do not understand why you are getting this error on running this thing. Did you search in your code where the 0x7e is there? That's the thing I want you to first do. First, find out where is this in your code. Do a control F across that repository. Find where the 0x7e thing is coming from. I think most probably where you are in your directory and where you're running this, that's not the right point to be and run these things, because there are a lot of errors that are coming from there. So one thing that you can do is maybe you can just spin up a quick GitHub repository with your code. I can take a look, or just tell me after searching that this is where it is. Let me actually search for this particular account that you have also put. Uh, I am just gonna search in the Explorer for your account. Um, if it's there. Okay, this Explorer thing is not working. Um, Give me a second. Once it's working, I can actually try to see what's happening. By the way, Ram, now I can actually open this. So I don't know what happened then, but now I can see. I think your module is called Notion, and I can see in the ABI there's a create underscore list function. Uh, can you try with the transaction again now? So, like, I'm trying to search for your account on the Explorer as well, except that it's hanging and not giving me any results. So, like, I'm now getting account not found for your code. Sure, Ram, go ahead.
So Sneha, I think I did few more things. That's why you was able to see the thing. So what I actually did is that I created my account again using the same private key. Uh, yes, I did the Aptos init again using the same private key. I got the same address, and then again I tried to publish a new contract on Aptos DevNet.
Oh, did
You-
you do this right now? Like, that's
Yeah,
why now it's loading?
yes, that's right. Yes.
Ah, okay, okay. Okay. I see.
So what I can say right now is that somehow whatever we have done deployed, they are kind of overriding the history because see, I did a lot of transactions, create lists, things right with the same account that I shared here. But those gone, right?
Yeah, that is quite weird, but at the same time, I have also experienced issues like this. So, with the Explorer, it does weird, like behave weirdly
Correct.
on the DevNet. I don't think it happens on the mainnet, but on the DevNet, I have seen some weird behaviors happen. I will actually ask the team about this as well.
Correct.
But yeah, I think Suleika, this can also might be like one of the reasons that you are also facing this, because as Ram pointed out, maybe you can just like republish the contracts and try once again using this particular address, because now on your address also on the Explorer it's showing me account not found. So I'm not sure what is happening there. Okay, there might also be one more possibility here that I think they reset the DevNet in some particular time. I will check what that time is, but they basically reset it so that it doesn't get too congested and stuff like that. I'll let me see if I can actually find a time for that. But yeah, thank you so much for your input, Ram. This is extremely useful for all the folks who are following this. Um, Okay, yeah. So the Aptos DevNet is reset every Thursday. So this is the thing, which means that I think almost all of your uh, DevNet accounts would have reset, so you would have lost all of the data that has happened. But I mean, you have the contract, so you can spin it up again. Alternatively, we can use the testnet. I think that should not be resetting. Um, but yeah, I think DevNet, as the name suggests, is good for us to use as developers. So, yep, that's one important thing. So like I think that explains a lot of things. You just have to republish the contracts. Again, I'm reiterating over this for everyone to follow. I'll just write this maybe. Aptos DevNet is reset every Thursday. Okay, cool. So coming back to this, yeah, indexing thing, right? So that's basically, yeah. So because this graph thing is using GraphQL, we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to what kind of data we want from here, because we just have the schema, and based on that schema we can specify only the things that we want to fetch. So as compared to REST API, GraphQL allows us for like to solve the problem of underfetching or overfetching for things, because we can get just the data that we want. So yeah, that's basically how Aptos has built out their indexer, this thing, and it's like presented to us through an API. And this is so this particular API that they have written over here, this is the one that is hosted by labs, that is Aptos labs only. And this is rate limited, meaning that you cannot do more than a particular number of requests per iota of time, whatever that might be for them. And it is just intended for lightweight applications, and not for like very heavyweight applications. So right. Hello, am I audible? Can you folks hear me?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, okay, perfect. So yeah, so this is not meant for like very high bandwidth application. High bandwidth applications meaning that think about gaming applications, think about social applications, which have a lot of DeFi applications, which have a lot of volume of transactions happening every second. So you should not be using this kind of a API for that. You can actually host your own indexer API, meaning that you can deploy your own indexer using whatever thing that they have, that stack that they have made. I'm sure they would have open sourced these things for folks to like just come in and set up, or again a custom processor route that they have mentioned here as well. So yeah, again, just given a more concrete diagram on how this whole thing works around syncing, uh, caching, and then processing, and then storing it in a relational database, and then just reading that through a API service, right? So yeah, you can basically change the flow of how this works out and use that instead. Coming back to the labs hosted indexer API, because this is of use to us. So I don't know if you folks have ever checked out any sort of like a GraphQL playground sort of thing. But this would be very interesting if this is the first time you'll be going through that. So they have given certain endpoints. This is basically the GraphQL API endpoint that you can hit, and you can pass certain queries on it, and you can get the results based on it. um, Let me see, I can actually, if I can actually find, and they have mentioned the rate limits in this case to be 5,000 requests per 5 minutes. And yeah, they have mentioned the limits can change. So if you need a higher rate limit, you can consider running it yourself, right? So that's the way that they have created. I tried opening up this DevNet one, but for some reason, it's saying resource does not exist and not found. Let me see if any of these mainnet or testnet links work. Yeah, so these links for some reason are not functional. Um, okay, it might be that these are the actual links and not the links to the playground. Let me see if this is the link to the playground. Uh, okay, fine, found it. Okay. Open up. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Cool stuff. Okay, before that, wanted to just check back in with. I'll just stop sharing this particular screen and open the playground screen. But yeah, in the meantime, just wanted to circle back to Sulekha. Can you try redeploying and then just trying out the save thing again? Because as we discussed, yesterday was Thursday, so the resetting would have happened. So today it might not work, right? So just we'll wait a little bit. Uh, okay, let me also share my screen. Okay, okay. I'll wait. I'll wait for you, Sileka. Let's first resolve your issue. I understand that the last class might have been fast, so we can take some time and fix that up. And for other folks also, like if you folks were not done with the last tasks thing, then I can cover this in the next class also. I just want to show you this because I find it interesting. Rishikesh, where are you at in terms of your last class like development? Yeah, Terrell, let me share that. Getting the same API error. Okay, that's a problem. Can you try like like what are you running right now? Like because are you following the steps that Ram did for of first setting up that account using the private key and then trying to deploy? So what you can do is you can open the the .aptos folder inside of your Aptos thing. You will find a config.yaml file there with this particular address and the private key etc. set. So then what you can run is this Aptos account thing. You'll get a create and then that will basically give you the option to import instead of creating from scratch. Let me actually fetch that exact. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You can create another new wallet and also spin up this, but make sure that wherever you're calling in the scripts, you modify this to match the new account. That's also fine. Let me share the link to the playground. Give me a second. This is the link to the playground. This is DevNet playground link. Yeah, Suleka, you can just do 1 second. Yeah. Mm-mm. Aptos account create, I think, should be the. Let me tell you. Is the. Yeah, found it. Okay. I'm just sending it to you on. Yeah, I sent it to you. You can name it something else as well. But yeah, if you do this and if you pass the private key that you'll get from inside that .aptos config.yaml, you can get back the same account as well. Okay, coming back to this indexer stuff, right? So I'm just messing around with this. I want to do like a proper class on this, but yeah, maybe post we get the project idea stuff. But yeah, just tinkering with this a little bit. So what we have done here is that this is basically the endpoint. This is the query. This is the tokens thing. So this is just the way that a normal GraphQL query works, where you specify what you want from a particular schema, and then inside that particular object, what attributes you want. So here I chose tokens, and under tokens also I chose these particular check marked entities that I just want these particular attributes and whatever it contains, and I just ran it. So this is in for the devnet because this is on the devnet. This is fetching for me all the tokens with all of this information. So if you see on the right hand side after running this is to run it, I'm getting this data for the tokens where I'm getting the creator address, the name of the token, the collection name. So you can see that for this collection, it has been sent to a lot of different people, like different creators for this. So yeah, similarly, you can actually do like a user transactions as well. So in this one query only, I can get a lot of information. So now if I'm doing for user transactions, I can just say that I want the sender and I want the timestamp and I want the sequence number, and I'm just gonna run this. So if now I'm running this, I'm just gonna close this tokens one to show you. So you can actually see because as discussed that this is the reset thing that has happened. So I can actually see the sequence number zero, one, uh, the timestamp exactly when this is happening. Uh, okay, 1 second. Yep, and this is going all the way to, yeah, like this is the data that is being fetched. Mm, mm, mm. You can get other stuff as well. There's some NFT marketplace, the fungible tokens, delegated staking activities. So all of these are just the schemas that are here for us to just go through and figure, let's say, coin balances. Uh, and this, close this, and we are getting all of this information. Cool. Um, okay, perfect. So Lekha's contract is now working. Great to know this. So yeah, this is a little bit on the indexer side. So the way that we can actually use this within an app, so just planting certain ideas on what can be actual use cases for this. Imagine you have a DeFi app and you have to build analytics for the DeFi app to show what's the portfolio of a particular person, and they might need to categorize the portfolio into, let's say, two or three different type of things like gaming tokens, infrastructure project tokens, or something else, blah blah blah. So you can actually just create a particular subgraph, like so in this particular thing you can just pass what tokens are you actually looking for, which particular addresses, like the module addresses that you want to actually search for, and then inside that what information you want. So in this case, if you see this example, you can just say that I want the amount for every like for that particular owner address, I want the amount for this token, and that is something that will be shown back to you. So that's the query that you can write, and you can actually use this indexer to build out these kind of applications. Cool. Any other questions that you folks might have, or anything specific that you would want us to cover? Okay, Tomiwa, let me explain. So what I'm saying is that for the indexer, what it allows you to do is to get all of this information that you can see from the Explorer, like the tokens, the transactions, and all of this till the like 100% synced blockchain. So if you have an analytics app for DeFi, you will have a portfolio, you have certain tokens, right? You can create a query that can enable you to, like, let's say the user has some favorite tokens. Okay, so like today, I'm not talking about the Aptos ecosystem. Let's say you have a normal centralized exchange and you're just tracking some particular tokens, and what your portfolio looks like for those particular tokens, right? So there can be some amount associated with it. There can be some other factors associated with it that you want to see in your particular token. So you can create a query in this indexer, which is basically tracking only those particular token addresses uh, for your particular owner address, and getting us the amount or other information that is there for that particular coin. That is again synced 100% to the blockchain. So whatever is changing over there will also reflect in your query result. So this is like an analytics sort of an app that you can build out using something like a uh, subgraph or like a query on the indexer. Does Aptos have subgraphs on the Graph Protocol network? I don't think Aptos has subgraphs on the Graph Protocol yet. I am not sure if their team is in touch with uh, making that collaboration happen. But I don't think the Graph supports Aptos as of now. Okay, cool. Any other questions that you folks have? All right, cool. So, since there are no other questions, let's wrap up this session today.